Hello, my little bats, and welcome to Monster Monday. Well, technically, this week it's going to be Monster of the Week, and we're going to be doing Bigfoot. First off, you need to know that Bigfoot has a lot of different names, and each state has its own Bigfoot sighting. So in New Hampshire, this big, hairy hominids are called devils. In Missouri, it's the Missouri Monster, or Momo for short. No, not like the Avatar the Airbender character. In Ohio, it's called the Grassman. Alabama, it's White Fang. Louisiana, it's called Honey Island Swamp Monster. North Carolina is Nobby. New Jersey, it's called Big Red Eye. This week I'll be going over different stories about Bigfoot. There are many different places that Bigfoot has been. One of them we're going to talk about is California. Another one is Washington, Oregon, California. I already said California twice. I must really like California. New York, and possibly other ones. I'm going to have a little bit of story time, like always. But this story time is going to be a little different than most. I'm actually going to put you as the main character. And I hope you like it. And if you don't like it, just let me know. No, please don't let me know. If you don't like it, don't like it. Anyway, term Bigfoot was coined in 1958. So the Yeti lived in Himalayas, but North America really didn't have a name for Bigfoot. Not Bigfoot yet. So the term Sasquatch was already been around since 1920. But it was mostly in Pacific Northwest and Western Canada. Sasquatch came from a Hochlerim word that referred to giant humans who would live in villages, and dress up and talk. I apologize for the sniffling. Can't even talk. Everyone at work is sick again, and just the story of my life. In 1958, Andrew, if I could read my own handwriting, Andrew Genzrola, a journalist, reported that lodgers in Buff Creek, California, had found giant footprints at the site that they were working at. So imagine like a research facility and you're in a tent, and then the next morning you come out of your tent and there are large footprints everywhere. I would probably be very scared and I would run away, if I'm being quite honest with you. Yeah, I would definitely run away. 100% run away. But that's just me. I don't know if you would run away, but I would run away. Take my horses and run. No one had seen the thing that caused the footprints. So the journalist, Andrew, went with the name Bigfoot. If they saw the creature, which was tall, hairy, large, they might have called it the Bluff Creek Monster instead, and Bigfoot might have never been a term. Those are your fun facts for Bigfoot, and I'm excited to record my other videos. Please tune in. And if you could just check out my YouTube, I would greatly appreciate it. Can't wait to start that up too. Thanks, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the Whitehall Bigfoot. The earliest sightings of this Bigfoot are 1976. It's about 6 to 7 feet tall. Location: Whitehall, New York. Whitehall is 80 miles north of Albany, New York. It is very close to the Adirondacks and Vermont. There's a canal that goes right through the town, which makes it a discreet location for something to hide. It has forests, open land, mountains, and not a lot of people. What else could a Bigfoot want? It is 1976. It's nighttime in August. It's a really nice night out. And you and your best friend Martin are driving around through the farmlands on the way to Nightfish. It's dark, and you and your best friend are joking, laughing, and having a great time like you always do. You both talk about what's to come for the rest of summer vacation because you're teenagers and it's just what you guys do. You're laughing so hard. And Martin is laughing so hard, he starts crying. After a few moments, your laughter dies down, and you both hear this sound that makes you both look at one another. A sudden chill runs up both of your spines, and you can't distinguish if the sound is a woman in distress or not. You stop the truck, and Martin grabs the long pew-pews from the back seat and loads them. If it is a woman or a person in danger, you both will be ready. You turn the car around, and your headlights shine on this big, human-like monster with dark fur and red eyes. You stop the car, stunned. For a second, and the world just stands still. Martin grabs a hold of your jacket and pinches you to make sure it's not a dream. The monster makes that scream once again. It pierces through your ears, but this time it charges at you. And Martin, you're quick thinking. You're able to steer the car to the left and avoid the creature and put the pedal to the metal and drive out of there as fast as your truck will allow. Soon, you and Martin encounter your older brother, Brian, who is an officer with the local police department. You and Martin explain what had happened, and of course, Brian doubts the story, but he calls it into the police sergeant and his father, so it's your father too. Brian can't leave and investigate further because he is on duty. So you decide to pick up your friend Bart and head back to the road where you encountered the monster. On a bare road, Bart does his best to try and discount what had happened. That is until the three of you hear the woman screaming from nearby. Bart looks at both of you, and you put the truck in park and explain what happened. Bart thinks the two of you are pulling his leg. That is, until your headlights shine on something tall, dark, built like a football player, and has glowing red eyes. The creature charges at your truck again, and again your quick thinking kicks in, and you slide the car to the left and drive away as fast as you can, or as fast as your car will allow. Now, Bart believes the both of you, and he's like, okay, what the heck's going on? What was that? Both you and Martin have no idea. Bart has no idea. All three of you head back to town. And soon, you tell the townsfolk, all of your neighbors, next door neighbors, the old lady across the street who loves giving you cookies, like she makes really good cookies. Maybe the monster wants cookies, who knows. But a search party for the dark, tall, muscular-eyed, red creature commences. Dozens of people come out to find the creature before it can disappear Some of the search party and some of the police officers see the creature in the meadow just scurrying away. But before anyone can do anything, it's gone in the blink of an eye. The next day, your older brother Brian and a state trooper friend of his go out to revisit the scene. The state trooper parks his truck, and both Brian and the state trooper get out of the truck. They turn their flashlights on and start looking around the area. They don't see anything, but Brian could feel something. He feels something watching him. So he spins around, does a full 360. Brian's flashlight points in the direction that he's feeling this feeling of being watched. And what he sees shocks him. 30 to 40 feet away, the creature stared back at Brian, and Brian stared at the creature. The monster screamed, exactly how it did the night before, like a woman screaming. The monster screamed through its hands in front of its face, and ran off deeper into the woods. In Brian's book, A Bare Road, the true story, Brian Gosling tries to explain his reaction. He says it was a mix of fear and shock. I was face to face with something that shouldn't exist, but it was right there, in front of me, he writes. After these encounters, numerous other encounters are reported in the area and the forests and fields around. Some people tried to pew-pew it, some ran for the hills, like I would. Footprints were also found, and soon UFOs started appearing in the sky. It was all just a little too peculiar for this small little town. Soon, the townsfolk started to keep quiet about what happened. I mean, could you imagine you saw this monster quite a few times, and quite a few times you lost him? You don't have any proof, minus the footprints, the very, very large footprints that are just hanging out. You have no proof. You wish you did. Unfortunately, the only proof you have is your own two eyes and the policemen that have also seen it. The story soon embarrassed everyone in the town. That is, until the attitude about cryptids and mythical creatures changed the local legends. It went from shame, from a deep-rooted shame, and all of a sudden it went to fame. Because everyone wanted to know more about what they had seen, what they had felt. They wanted to know more about this dark, tall, muscular, red-eyed creature. They wanted to know more. They wanted to see more. So the attitude changed towards the local legend from shame to fame, as more and more appearances of Bigfoot happened across the country. The most recent sighting in the area was in 2018. A driver saw a very large, hairy, black form climbing a guardrail one night on Route 4. So this town finally embraced their Bigfoot. And so far, they have 4 large Bigfoot statues around. And there's a legislation that passed to protect Bigfoot and name it their town animal. So there's also a Sasquatch calling festival where everyone yells their biggest, their best Bigfoot call. And now that everything's changed, now that it went from shame to fame, everyone is so proud of having a Bigfoot. Now, instead of trying to pew-pew it or run away or scream in terror or try and capture it. People are trying to call out to Bigfoot. They're trying to see if they can be friends with it. Because after all, maybe he's just misunderstood. But hopefully, one day, you'll get to meet a Bigfoot.